The world's biggest mystery is life. People waste their entire lives trying to figure out who they are and why the way they are and what decision they take would be the right one and what the effect of each would be. And also how their life will come to an end or when they will die. People spend their life so occupied thinking about that which causes most of these people to forget to live and just enjoy the small things in life. No matter how much the meaning the things they are doing have, it still has a meaning. And it's better to live an actual life instead of wasting your life wondering when you're going to die and thinking of all the scenarios of how. And okay, I get that, and sure you can figure out each way to prevent each possible scenario, but in the end you will miss out on all the opportunities or potential fun that life would offer at certain times. The thing about life is, it's always changing. We're so hell-bent on the future that we miss out on the present sometimes, and we think about something that might happen in the future, which causes us to not pursue what we truly want. We're so set on this one thing that life is, when in reality it could be another thing. We think of one thing and we connect it to other things, which causes us to make the wrong decisions, which in reality will affect the future. We think of life as something complex, which in reality it kind of is, but in other terms it's simple. We think of everything as one when it could be multiple situations. We think everything has one answer, but in reality it has multiple. It can change at any second, which we are scared of, which causes us to not think about what we do and try to pursue what we think we can't. All this can be good, but nothing once was. As humans, we always tend to set these high goals that in reality we probably will never be able to achieve, but as a human we always try to do more than we are supposed to, and we set these outrageous goals that are only achievable. We put everything to it, but then in the actual long run, some of us become so obsessed with obtaining this goal that it causes us to not be able to achieve it because we put too much effort into it, which we lose motivation to be able to push forward and actually be able to try to have success when that's our only goal, and we can't even do that because what is success defined as if we don't give it a meaning? We have to define what success is for us, and you can define success in many ways. You can say that you got success by completing a portion of your goal. Like say if your goal was to lose 20 pounds and you lose 15 or 10, that's success. Like progress, which is success. You're succeeding in your goal, which is success. You haven't complete 100%, but it's still success. You have 45% success so far, or it could be, it's just not one thing is success. Everything, like a proportion, could be success, like to the goal. Never know how you can perceive it, but it can be perceived in many ways. Success is not just the final destination, it's the whole thing. The progress is on the key to success, but it's also part of the success, which is percent of the success. The future can always change by anything you do. Like the future you predict your future. Well, you anticipate or you cause what happens in the future by some of your actions. Say if you rob a bank driver, like in the future, that can catch up to you and it can ruin your life, which will cause you to go to jail for a while. And any small thing can actually, in the long run, hurt you the most, which is why you shouldn't take risks at that big, but like at the same time you should, but not like at that big, but not like, I'm probably wishy-washy on that type of topic, but to certain things, you shouldn't let it scare you about certain things. Like, I don't know, certain things are meant to be broken, some rules are meant to be broken for the greater good of society. There's been lots of things that if they didn't do, then we probably would have never had it. Just like how ice cream was a mistake, but that has nothing to do with the topic. It was an accident. They accidentally made ice cream back in the olden days. Because ice cream is like frozen milk, I think. It's like frozen milk, and it's more than that, but it's like an accident they made. There's accidents and then there's mistakes, but you can learn from your actions. Every action you take, you can actually learn from it, but in the end, what all that you do will affect you in the long run. Just like how if you get a relationship, it can affect you also. It can change how you act in certain situations, and if you lose a certain person, it can have a big effect on you. Relationships, anything, any kind of relationship can actually affect you, no matter how big or small. Every single kind of person that you're connected to and talk to will have an effect on you. Maybe it's friendly, maybe it's happy, maybe it's sad, I don't know. That determines on what happens in the future or the current day. All that happens, they can say for a reason, but who knows what the reason is, or if we'll ever find out what the cause is and why it happened. We might not ever know. Some things you think you don't know why they happened, and you're not sure if there is a reason. Who'd say there isn't? One small mistake from a certain person can cost someone their life. It's a very serious topic, and it should be addressed more often. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it, kind of like so to say. Albert Einstein was a wise man. He believed in science. He was very good at it. He had a high IQ, and it's kind of crazy how smart he was, though. It's hard to believe. The thing is, one wrong decision does not justify who you are. There's always time to change the self-image of what other people see you as, and to justify why you did a certain thing during a certain period of time, to show them what was going through your mind during that period of time, to justify the situation that you were in. The thing is, most people probably wouldn't understand of why you did it, so they're not gonna they're just gonna think that you're a messed up person for doing what you did. But in reality, there's more to the story than they know, and that's the reason why they act the way they do towards you, is because they don't know who you are or what you will do next. So they're scared of what you might become or what you might do next in the future. They're scared of what you are and what reality will happen from your actions. They're scared of what you will do in the future that will affect their lives and everyone else's life. Most humans are scared to face reality, so they live their life making their own laws, which will represent all their actions and choices. Who are we to say what is right from wrong? Are we in the charge of what is said to be right and wrong? What would make us so special to have that decision or authority? The thing is, you may not agree with how they operate or live, but we can't just say it's wrong if we don't give them a chance to justify why they live the way they do. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, as long as it doesn't involve killing people. They deserve a chance to adjust their living style and who they are. The thing about life is, it's like a roller coaster. At first, it might be scary, but it gets less as time goes on and you get older and your brain develops. Your personality and traits and all qualities of a person. Even as adults, some people can be scared of life. It has lots of complications and situations that can make you go crazy and stress the fuck out to the point where you feel like you don't even know what to do. You feel like you're done, but you have to get through the week and you're stressed out. Or you're really stressed. Sometimes the week is easier than you thought. And you wonder how you did everything. You're surprised that you actually did it, and you start feeling a little proud of yourself, building your self-esteem. In that moment, we've all been at that point where we are completely tired and you feel like you're about to collapse, but somehow you manage to keep going and doing everything you're supposed to and not letting anyone down or make people mad or sad. Have an impact on the world and some self-pride and confidence, feeling accomplished and happy that you're able to keep going and you're impressed with yourself. And when the time comes to relax, you realize all the work sucked, but it sure feels good to be able to relax now. The world's biggest mystery is life. People waste their entire life trying to figure out who they are and why the way they are, and what decision they take would be the right one, and what the effect of each would be, and also how life will come to an end or when they would die. People spend their life so occupied to think about that, which causes most of those people to forget to live and just enjoy the small things of life. No matter how much meaning the things they are doing have, it still has a meaning, and it's better to live an actual life instead of wasting your life wondering when you're going to die and thinking of all the scenarios of how. And okay, I get that, and sure, you figure out each way to prevent each possible scenario, but at the end, you will miss out on all the opportunities or potential fun that life would offer at certain times. Life always has this way of showing you certain things at times. I don't have a religion at all, really, because I'm agnostic or just open-minded about the subject, and I just don't want to believe in something if I have no idea what's true. I mean, I don't think that it's like that some God made everything, but I don't know. I just have no clue about things in life. I believe certain situations play out for a reason, like it was meant to be in some sort of way. I believe that, but who knows what life even is at this point. All the confusion, and some of the people we call heroes are corrupt people like some cops. But at the end of the day, everyone is themselves. Just because they live a certain way doesn't mean it's permanent. It can always change in the future. They could be hurt, and all the actions they take, they will have to deal with consequences and effects, good or bad. Everyone on earth is special in their own way. They always make an impact on someone in some way. Maybe small or maybe big. The type of person they are is what makes them special and amazing. They may not be perfect, but some people are close to perfect, or the perfect one in your eyes. As life moves on, you start to see everything in a different way, different eye, different perspective. As you can say, it's different now, and your mind is different now, and it has changed. It is no longer the way it was. You're a new person. Change isn't always good, and too much change is a problem. It's a good note to yourself to not change too much unless it's going to solve a lot of problems in the world. As you might want to, you should do it slowly over time. You have to push forward when times are tough. You can't let life beat, and I understand it hurts at certain times. You could cry, but eventually you'll have to pick yourself up and push forward, and if you want to do the best, don't let anyone tell you that you can't be the best, because you can do it, and it's going to be hard, but everyone is capable of amazing things. You gotta have motivation and dedication. If at first you don't succeed, don't give up. Keep trying and give it your all. Life has lots of cracks and twists and turns in life, and all the things that we hold dear and close, one day those things might slowly vanish away. Maybe people that we love or people that we care for deeply, they will no longer be there one day. In life, some things that we have now, we might not have in the future. We might have a certain kind of friendship with someone or a certain kind of relationship, but nothing is permanent in life when there's so many factors and variables of some scenarios of stuff that can happen, which can cause all the stuff that you had with a certain person to end in a terrible way. And you never know whose fault it would be or how it would happen, but the thing about life is it has lots of twists, turns. It can throw you around. It can be like a roller coaster, and when dealing with life, there's lots of factors to take into consideration of how much each person in the friendship can handle, and how much of secrets will tear you all apart, and how much of just life in general each person can take, because there can be a point where ending your friendship or relationship would be the best thing to better go with your life, and maybe one day you'll become friends again or something more. But the thing is, who knows what life will have around in the future, or a current event. The thing is, people don't know what the future upholds for certain people, but it's always good to keep on going and push aside all the things in the past. Don't hold the future so far ahead because it's kind of close, so just don't dwell on the future or the past event. You gotta live in the present, but don't try to do everything you can to prevent certain events that are going to happen in the future. Just let certain events play out, and don't try to change stuff too much, but if you know you can change certain things that are worth changing, then go for it. Just don't make too drastic things that will be really bad in the future.